Sunday race fans, and welcome to the second race of NARL's Sunday Cash Racing. I am your commentator and producer, Mike Braun. Today we are running at the Red Bull Ring in Austria. 2.6 mile of track. Track temps of 103 degrees, a little spicy today, but should lead to some great racing action. If this is your first time watching us, welcome. This is our second race in a row of our NARL Sunday Racing. Something fun for these guys. $100 goes to each of the top three, and your top 10. Top 10 all get $15 iRacing credits. At the end of the year, end of these Sunday series that we're doing, we will have a big race-off. We are still setting the dates. It looks like it's going to be at the end of September, but big cash payout for these guys. Over $5,000 paying out. But you have to finish top three in all these Sunday races to be able to qualify. And right now, our qualifiers from race number one: Nicholas Rubilar, Daniel Lafuente, and Nicholas Mateo. Fantastic racing last week. These guys went for an hour and 20 minutes, separated by no more than 2 seconds that entire time. It was a fantastic race. If you guys have time, go back and watch that race. It was spectacular. Today looks like it's going to be another fun day of racing. We've got some pretty heavy hitters showing up today, and I look forward to seeing what we've got going on. Still got about 5 minutes left in this practice session. We'll let them run through, and we'll come back just in time for qualifying. No, I needed to start. I had it started, and then I had to come in and just kind of lead into it. Winding the practice session down now. Got about a minute and a half left of practice. Currently show 22 cars in this session. It is an open lobby session. Something a little different. anybody can join. I know the first race we had people join the session that were even sub 1K I rating, so it was definitely an interesting session, but a lot of heavy hitters coming out for this one. We'll take a look at just the I rating of these guys right now. Two guys at the top at 12K. We've got two professional rated safety rating guys in here. Strength of field is just going to be completely ridiculous. But this is going to definitely lead to some great racing action. We are excited to show it to you here. We are from North American Racing League. In case you did not know, make sure you guys join us, NorthAmericanRacingLeague.com. We do have a GT3 league that runs on Thursday nights, which is temporarily running, or currently running. We do have a waiting list for next season open, so make sure you guys check out the website, check out our Discord, and get joined. Practice closing up right here. Really fast times. Aaron Vasquez out top right now with a 129 flat. Sven Olejas in that second spot, just a tenth of a second back. Nicholas Rubelar from our previous race. Nicholas taking the win at Road Atlanta, sitting third. Daniel Lafuente sitting in the 4th spot in practice. Mateo in 5th. So that's your 1st, 2nd, and 3rd place finishers from Road Atlanta. Qualifying just getting ready to get started. See some of these guys get out. See what kind of times we can get. This is a pretty Acura heavy field. Noticed that during the practice that probably over 3/4 of the cars in here are Acuras, so we'll see what everybody can get on. Weather for today, we're looking at 102 degrees track temp, so definitely a little on the warmer side here. 35% humidity, which could cause the cars just a little bit slower, a little bit freer in the turns. 71 degrees ambient, so still plenty cool for those engines to get some power. Now we're seeing Nicholas Rubelar come around. Just getting that first lap in. That out lap. Trying to get the the tire temps up. Get set up for a good run. And Nicholas Rubelar was our winner of the first race at Road Atlanta. Over to Chris Beats. We'll be jumping around a little bit. We'll let the iRacing cameras jump around on us a little bit until we start seeing somebody get some good sector times. Again, we got about 22 people joined in this session. A little lighter turnout than last one, but definitely some pretty big hitters, and it's going to lead to some amazing racing action today. Nicholas Rubelar with 2 purple sectors right now. Coming down the front straightaway. hits the scoring beam, comes across the line. Let's see what kind of time he did. 1:29.3. Chris beats about a half second back, 0.6 of a second back. Hilarious in the third spot, a full second behind Rubilar. Daniel Lafuente with a kind of a slower lap, probably just getting some temp in those tires. Aaron Vasquez, another one, just was probably getting some good temp in the tires, get control. And we'll see what these guys can do on their second lap around. We got Benji in the YouTube chat right now. Favorite track, he's stuck at work, but he is pulling for his boy Will Coffey. Will's trying to back out of the race earlier, just seeing some of the iRating in this, but I think we got him stuck in here, and we'll see what he can do. Aaron Vasquez, it looks like he might be on a heater right now. Purple sector 1, green sector 2 for Aaron. Coming around the last section right now. Ooh, dips it out pretty wide. I hope that is still clean. Let's see what he does. Purple sector 3. And that's going to put him on top of the timing board. 1:29.1 for Vasquez. Rubilar in that second spot right now, just a 1/10 of a second back. David Bosga in the third now. Lafuente up into fourth. Jackson Resende rounding out your top 5 right now. These guys should be given 3 laps, if I remember correctly. 3 time laps for them. Give them a 10-minute window to put that time in. Scott Reister, the founder of North American Racing League, rocking the Beamer today. Reister with 2 green sectors coming off the last turn now. Crossing the stripe with a 1:29.1. Good enough to put him in the 8th spot right now. Excuse me, that was a 1:30.2. Timing and scoring is a little awkward down at the bottom. That might be the gap. Yeah, I think that's the gap down there. But Reister with a 1:30.2 to put him up into 9th now overall. Paulo Gadai getting up into that 7th spot. Lucas Finco coming across the stripe there, put him 13th right now, 1:31.3. Vasquez with 2 purple sectors at the end, but had that rough first sector. Still sitting on the pole right now. Jackson Resende sitting in the 6th spot right now. A little bit of a track guide when we get the racing started, unless we get somebody to do another full lap on us. Lucas Souza jumping up into that 13th spot. Lucky 13th spot. Jackson, back to Jackson here. He's got a green middle sector. Looks like Paulo Gadai is on an early lap here. Let's go on board with Paulo, see what it looks like coming around this second half of the section here. Rocking that Acura, as a lot of them are. Down this kind of a back straightaway, downhill a little bit. Then you want to get hard into braking in here. Hit this apex, just drag your brakes, let it rotate just a bit, then you want to get early onto the throttle. So again, you want to dip out into that rumble section a bit, wait till about the 75-meter marker. Again, drag those brakes just a bit, let it rotate. Here you're going to stomp on the brakes just a bit, get into that inside apex, let it rotate, get on the throttle. Carry the speed all the way back out here. And then this is the spot for off track, so this is going to be a spot to definitely watch for. If you carry way too much speed here, you can get out into that off track section. Getting down the stripe and down the front straightaway. Paulo with a 130.7, not improving on his time. Still got Jackson Resende out here, and Paulo. Everybody else is off track. Top 9 spots right now are occupied by Acuras. Let's see what everybody's running here. You got top 9 all Acuras. Scott Reister is the first Beamer. Julian Familarius with a Porsche. Ricardo Delgado rocking his typical Corvette. Lucas Souza in his all-familiar Porsche. Lucas Finco in that Acura as well. So we are winding down here. Paulo's still out there on the track trying to do something, but qualifying is now done and dusted. And let's see if we can get the grid to work. Here we go. This is our grid for cash race number 2 here for the NARL Sunday Racing at the Red Bull Ring. On the pole, Aaron Vasquez from Apex Racing with a 129.1. Nicholas Rubilar qualifying on the outside, the front row. Second row will be David Bozga with Daniel Lafuente on his outside. Third row, Nicholas Mateo with Lewis Woods in outside of him. Fourth row is going to be Jackson Resende with Paulo Gadai on his outside. In the fifth row is going to fifth row is going to be Chris Beats with Scott Reister next to him. Julian Familarius in the 11th spot. Ricardo Delgado will be starting outside of him. Then in the 7th row, you've got Lucas Souza with Lucas Finco. It's the Lucas row there. And then you got Sven Olehaas in the 15th spot with no time. Got a few guys with no time here, but we'll have to see if they jump out there. Mason Kuhn in the 16th spot. Will Coffey, 17th. Thorsten Ulrich, 18th. Iggy Smith, 19th. Leon Augustat in the 20th spot. Edgar Ruiz, 21st. Armando Bergeron in the 22nd spot. And 23rd is Joseph Splitter. So we'll have to see if all those guys run. It's a low car count compared to the first race. Low car count for the ones that actually qualified. But is definitely not going to be a lack of action for these guys. I'm definitely super excited to see what we do here. And it is going to be a great day of racing. Everybody's getting gridded up. We're going to be doing our formation lap, full lap formation. It's going to be an hour and 20-minute race. This is our NARL Sunday Fun Day Racing. Some cash prizes for these guys. Once again, top 3 will get $100 cash, and the top 10 get $15 in iRacing credits. We're going to do these every week. We are going to skip some holidays, so Mother's Day weekend we will skip that. But our next race coming up, if I remember correctly, is going to be Watkins Glen, so I'll have to go and research that just to make sure. But next weekend will be a race at Watkins Glen. I will confirm that during the show here. That is correct. Watkins Glen will be our next race on May the 4th. Same times, about 10:45 Pacific time. The show will start. Qualifying starts at 11 a.m. Pacific. Next race after that will be May the 18th. We still have not announced the track for that. So a lot of exciting things coming up here on the NARL Sunday racing action. Winding down here towards the end of the pace lap. Aaron Vasquez setting the pace right now. Bright yellow virtual coach. Inside line coming down the front straightaway, gets the early jump. Green flag. We got some beating and banging going right off the bat. David and Nicholas going at it down the front straightaway, trying to gain positions there. See everybody kind of making it through turn one, no problems. Do not see any issues right now. Nicholas Rubel are looking on the outside. They are still going at it. Oh, we might be going 3 wide into this turn 3. Oh man, they got Daniel Lafuente taking the dive bomb move on him. Lafuente up into the 2nd spot. Have some possible team driving going on here. The two Nicholases going at it, and they have really separated themselves with David Bosga in the back there. You got Aaron Vasquez out in front. Daniel Lafuente in the 2nd spot. Straightaway for the first time by your leader, Aaron Vasquez. Takes him around for lap 1. Clean start from everybody here except for a little door-to-door bang action. David Bosga getting shuffled all the way back to the 9th spot. Go back and see what possibly happened with David here. Oh, get a little squirrely, got a little touch from somebody there. And that cost him a couple spots, so he's going to definitely shuffle him back in the order a bit, but we're back up front with Aaron Vasquez of Apex Racing. Already opened up to a 2.5 advantage on Daniel Lafuente. Peter Nodwell on the YouTube chat, Acura Cup, that is for sure. Top 10 are all Acuras right now. Then you got Scott Reister with the first BMW. A couple Porsches, 12th to 13th, Corvette 14th. Mason Kuhn in the 15th spot in a Porsche. Sven Ole Haas up 7 spots from his qualifying spot up into the 8th spot right now, so big jump up for him. Sven in the Grid and Go esports team. Parked in right behind David Bozga in that 7th spot. Looks like team cars there. Everybody pretty settled in right now. So we got David Bozga going off track here. Let's see what happened here. Might just be coming into that last sector here to see what happens here. Yeah, just getting an off track there. Mason Kuhn also with an off track, I'm guessing, coming into turn 1 here. Mason get a little squirrely there. And it looks like Mason just kind of pulling off and jumping to the pits. Back up front. Everybody pretty much settled in right now. Looks like guys are going to be trying to save some fuel. But the one person that is not saving fuel right now is your leader, Aaron Vasquez. Opening up to almost a 2-second advantage already. He is laying it down right now. Aaron with a set in the fast lap right now, 129.2. That was his last lap, actually, so that's why he's opening up that gap quite a bit. La Fuente with a 29.5, Rubilar 29.4, Mateo with a 29.3, trying to get back in with these guys, get close to them. See on the track map, everybody pretty single file, rolling around right now. La Fuente sitting in that 2nd spot right now. In 3rd, you got Nicholas Rubilar, 2 guys that were very familiar with each other last week. Those guys were nose to tail pretty much the whole time at Road Atlanta. And sitting right behind them is Nicholas Mateo, who was also right behind them as well. So those 3 guys for 2 weeks in a row now have not been separated more than a couple seconds. In the 5th spot right now, you got Lewis Woods. Then in the 6th spot now, Jackson Resende, a regular with the NARL Racing League on Thursday nights. In the 7th spot, Sven Ole Haas up into 7th now, making the move past David Bozga. Sven on the move right now after a kind of a rough qualifying session, looking to move up the field here. We got David Bozga in the 8th spot. And 9th spot, you got Paulo Gaday, another regular with the North American Racing League. In the 10th spot, you got Chris Beats. Again, it's pretty much an Acura fest. That is the end of the line for the front-running Acuras there. And then we'll jump back to the next car is Scott Reister, the founder of North American Racing League, running the Beamer today. Lucas Souza, another one that's been running with NARL for a while, sitting in the 12th spot. 13th spot right now is Julian Familarius. Another Porsche there in 13. 14th spot, Ricardo Delgado. Having a good run today so far. Good to see Ricardo setting the pace pretty good. Trying to stay in touch with those Porsches in front of him and just start to dip back just a little bit. And you got my good friend Will Coffey, long shot racing in the 15th spot. In the 16th spot, you got Lucas Finco from Wrong Stuff Racing. Got a little bit of a gap back to him. Looks like Lucas had a crash earlier. Let's go back and see what happened to Lucas here. Coming into this section here, Pushes it out into the gravel, loses it, spins out, taps the wall there. Tough break for Lucas. That is a tricky section there. It's kind of banked leading into it, and then it kind of falls off, so it makes the car a little on the light side. So tough break for Lucas there. And that puts us to the end of everybody. Mason Kuhn, who pulled off and got off the track. So we'll go back up front with our leader. Aaron Vasquez coming into turn 1 now, opening up to a 2.5 second advantage. And starting to really pull away. Everybody kind of nose to tail right now. Nobody really making any big moves. I think the biggest move right now has been Sven Olahas, and it looks like he does make another move. Go back and see. Looks like you're coming up that section there, drafting on Jackson Resende. Getting a little pull from him. Jackson just kind of slid by, protected it inside, but he did let Sven go by. That is definitely a position where you say, yeah, I know you've got more pace than me. You are moving through. I will let you sneak by. Maybe get a little toe from him and follow him around for a little bit. Maybe pull him in closer with that front group. Second battle here. Lafuente still hanging on to that second spot. Rubilar, quarter of a second behind him. Just, he's got that toe hitch hanging on to the back of that Acura. Ten minutes in. This is an hour and 20-minute race. Dipping off the track. It's like maybe just the last sector of the track here, I'm guessing. Something where you push a little bit too hard and you get outside into that red area, and that is an off track. So definitely a spot where he just missed his timing a little bit, carried a little too much speed. As Rubilar starting to really close in. Is he going to make a move coming into this turn here? And does. Lafuente makes a move. They're coming down into the middle section now, so Rubilar up into second, Lafuente into third. This is the order these guys finished last week. You had Rubilar taking the win, Lafuente in second, and Mateo in third. That last lap with these guys was insane. Rubilar was able to pull away just a bit. Lafuente made an outside move around Mateo to steal that spot on the last turn. That was a fantastic move. So we got a lot of action going on with the 7th place. Let's see what's going on here. We've got David Bozga coming up and getting through Jackson Resende. Into turn 3, there's a hard braking zone, makes a good lunge in there. Jackson goes around on the inside, tries to steal it back, that little over-under. Jackson gets back by. Not sure why Dave was flashing his lights at him. That was a good and clean pass from Jackson. And David looking on the inside, trying to get that move in. Around the inside, Jackson still sitting on that outside. He'll be on the inside coming into this next sector here. Great battle for P7. Resende holds that line through there and able to pull away. So Jackson Resende hanging on to that spot. Let's go back to them live and see where we're at now. And it looks like Jackson's still hanging on. It looks like David did get back by him. David Bozga able to get back by Jackson Resende and make it stick. He's trying to close back into his teammate Sven Ole Haas up in that 6th spot. Up into the front section here, we got Ruglar hanging on that second spot. Aaron Vasquez now with a 3.5 second advantage. He is just done, checked out, and pulling away from these guys. We are running a 55% fuel cap on these guys, so they aren't going to run the full 1 hour. So usually these guys will be looking for fuel right around the 40-minute mark, just depending on how hard you're running. Aaron Vasquez done checked out. He is using it with no draft at all and just pulling away from these guys. It is a fixed setup here. We're just running the standard fixed STO racing setup, one fast repair. So if you do have an issue like Lucas Finko earlier tapping the wall there, you're able to get that fixed and get going. And one thing about the North American Racing League, there is no rain. Don't have to worry about that. Some people enjoy that. Some people do not. So definitely a mixed bag of answers on that one. But there's one thing about here, you will not have any rain. Pretty quiet action right now. Car numbers up on the screen now, so you can kind of see on the track map where everybody is at. A couple packs going along. Let's go back to the 5th spot here with Lewis Woods. Right behind him is Sven Ole Haas. Sven has definitely been the one on the move right now. Sven is now up 9 spots. From a pretty poor qualifying position for him. So he is definitely on the move, trying to make some moves up. Coming into, it should be about turn 6 or 7 here. Again, not a whole lot of crazy action going on. We've had a couple of off tracks, no big major wrecks. Let's see what happened here. Chris Beats went off track, guessing it was just a little tire slipping off the track here. And, yep, just pushed it out into the gravel a little bit. Able to keep it collected. Good job, Chris, there to keep it collected. No harm, no foul, just losing a little bit of ground. Lewis Woods here with Sven Ole Haas sitting right behind him. Sven looking on the inside in turn 3 here. Good hard braking zone, able to get it past, stuck. Sven now up into the 6th spot. That's going to put him up 10 spots now, as though, well, they're drag racing down the straightaway. Lewis not giving it up easy, but Sven has that inside line here into the braking zone. Lewis trying to hang on to it, but he is not able to. Sven up into 5th now, up 10 positions from his qualifying. And on the move right now. Fast laps right now. You still got Aaron Vasquez with a 29.2. Nobody else really in the 29.2s at all. You've got Nicholas Ruglar with a 29.3. La Fuente with 29.4. Mateo 29.3. Sven with a 29.4. So we'll have to see what kind of time Sven can pull out. And see if he's able to close in on that gap. He's got about a 2.5 second gap up to Nicholas Mateo. Our 2nd, 3rd, and 4th place group. We got a pretty good battle coming off the last turn here. Lucas Souza with Julian Familarius right behind him. And into turn 1 here. Scott Reister not too far back. coming up into turn 3 here. Again, this is a real tricky section here. So, let's go on board with Julian to see what it looks like here. Sitting behind Lucas Souza. That almighty whine of the Porsche. Right behind Lucas in that Aerokinetics Porsche. And then just in the rearview mirror, you can just barely see Scott Reister's BMW back there. Julian might be just buying in his time here, saving some fuel. Hard on him. He's a little excited in that section again. Hard under brakes again. Kind of compromises his speed coming out. So it loses a little bit of ground on him. Does have a slowdown there for pulling off the track there. So Julian jumping out. And back in line. Let Scott Reister up into the 12th spot. Ricardo Delgado going off track. Let's see what happened with him there. Looks like coming down into this turns 5 and 6 area here. It's been a popular spot right there, just putting tire off the track, able to get it back going. Paulo Gadai also with a little off track. It's like the last sector here, very popular for just carrying a little bit too much speed. Yep, and gets off that rumble strip, and that's what gets you, is getting off those rumble strips. Once your tires come disconnected from that. And it looks like Julian jumped into pits. Not quite sure what happened to him there. We'll have to see what happened. Let's see, go back into the replay here and see Julian just pulling off the track. Jumping into the pits. Not quite sure if he just wasn't able to keep going with us or what, but tough break for him. There's your second, third, and fourth place cars. Rubilar, La Fuente, and Mateo. Really starting to close in on these guys. Let's see what kind of just a little off on these guys, trying to close in that gap here. Rubilar and La Fuente out in the second and third. Haven't seen a whole lot of our leader, Aaron Vasquez. Again, our top 3 will get $100 cash. After that, your top 10 will get iRacing credits. Back to the 8th spot here, we've got Jackson Resende and Paulo Gadai, 2 regulars in the North American Racing League, battling out for 8th and 9th. settled in right now. Starting to get a little tighter for that second, third, and fourth spot. Fuente still parked on the back bumper of Rubilar. Mateo closing in again. Sven still sitting back there in that fifth spot, about 2.5 seconds behind these guys. "25 minutes down. Pit stop should start happening here in about another 15 to 20 minutes, depending on how they save their fuel. Again, don't forget, our next race is going to be at Watkins Glen next week. Do not miss it. Should lead to some great racing action there. I myself will not be here, but I'll have my guest commentator and producer Finn on that. Over some more racing from these guys. Sitting in that 4 spot right now, going forward with him. Crazy, but just saving just enough. This is our closest battle right now. Second, third, and fourth. You see on the interval on the timing and scoring screen. Quite a bit on La Fuente on this lap. Got a couple cars dipping into pits right now. Sven Ole Haas jumping into the pit lane. Teammate David Bosga also jumping into pits, trying to keep that draft together. Right at the 30-minute mark, these two guys, Sven overshooting his pits. Had to back up just a little bit. Also got Lucas Souza joining them in the pit lane as well. So first wave of pit stops coming in here at about 28, 29-minute mark. Changing tires as well. Sven gets out. it's going to get off. Jack's finishing his fueling. About to see when our leaders come in. Lucas Finco also in pits. 23-second stop for Lucas Souza. Looks like our leader lifting. Yep, leader's coming in for his stop. Hard under braking gets that speed limiter on. Here comes second, third, and fourth. Here comes fifth and sixth. Looks like everybody coming in to the pits right now. Able to squeak out another extra lap on there, taking that current lead. See all those Acuras. Ooh, some quick fueling. Those guys fueled up real quick. La Fuente jumping out of the pits quick. 13.9 on his pit stop. Nicholas Mateo with a 14.1. So both those guys on short pits. Going to put them out front. Good strategy from those guys. We'll see how it pays out. Let's see what the pit stop times look like here. Go. Gadai now jumping into the pits. So your two guys out front, La Fuente and Mateo, both short pit. Everybody has pit now. Paulo Gadai just rejoining us. So right now you got Daniel La Fuente out in front in car number 13, leading them around. In the second spot, we've got Nicholas Mateo. Both of these guys really short pitting that last time. Both of them a sub, right around a 14-second pit stop. Then you've got your early leader, Aaron Vasquez. We'll see if Aaron's able to close that gap on these guys. He did have about a 5-second gap when he went into the pits. He had a full pit stop there of 24 seconds. Which relegated him back to the third spot, about 2.5 seconds behind your leaders. Then you got about 6.5 seconds back to Nicholas Rubilar in the fourth spot. Sven Ole Haas up into fifth now. After a rough qualified started 15th and has made his way up 10 spots early on. And then you got David Vazca in the sixth spot. Paulo and Jackson back together again, racing action in that 7th and 8th spot. In the 9th spot, we've got Chris Beats trying to stay in touch with Paulo and Jackson. Then you got 10 seconds back to Lucas Souza. Scott Reister in the 11th spot. Ricardo Delgado cresting that hill in the Corvette, sitting in the 12th spot, about 5 seconds behind Reister. And then you've got Will Coffey, about 10 seconds behind Ricardo. Lewis Woods in the 14th spot. He was having a rough race. It really pushed him back. Not quite sure if he had some early issues, but it was down 8 spots from his qualifying earlier. And then we got Lucas Finco rounding out our field right now in the 15th spot. Going at it again, La Fuente and Nicolas Mateo. They were in the 3rd and 4th at the start of their pit stops. Short pit, and they got them out in front of Aaron Vasquez. La Fuente in for a 13.9, picked him up 3 spots. Mateo with a 14.2, jumped him up 3 spots as well. And then you had Vasquez drop down 2 spots with his 24.1 pit stop. Rubilar, 24.3, dropped him down 2 spots. And Sven still up 10 spots from his starting position at a 23.2 pit stop. Stewart in the YouTube chat says we need more Acuras. There's only a couple out here, not very many. Just the top 9 right now. Lucas Souza, the one different guy, rocking the Porsche in the top 10. That is our final paying position, I guess you could say. Top 10 will get iRacing credit, $15 iRacing credit. So Lucas trying to hang on to that final paying position. There's your top 3. La Fuente leading them around right now. Mateo half second back. Everybody kind of getting spread out right now. So we had our first pit stops right about the 28-29 minute mark. So we're going to expect them to be just before the hour marker again. We'll see if anybody has to short pit again or what happens with that. Looks like a Jackson Resende having a crash. Let's see what happened with Jackson. Running here with Paulo Gaday. The last sector here, got a tire off in the grass possibly. Yep, overcooked it in there, got a little loose. And ooh, Chris Beats gets able to go around the outside and get through. From Mateo here coming into turn 3. Excuse me, this is turn 5 here. Sorry about that. We got through turn 3. So. Again, pretty impressive field. There's our I rating for some of these guys. For La Fuente, Mateo at 11, Aaron Vasquez with 12K. That's a pretty impressive field here. settled in. No crazy racing action going on right now. This is the closest battle. Looks like we have a pass for 13th. Let's see what happened here. Lewis Woods doing some recovery driving here. Sitting behind Will Coffey. Will just sliding over, and again, knowing the ability of somebody behind him. Lewis with a 9 KI rating. Will Coffey 2.7, so he knows that at the end of the day he was going to get by him anyways. Just did the wise thing, let him by, maybe get a little draft with him, able to pull him through and get some quicker times with him. Pretty quiet action going on right now. This is our closest battle. Sectors right now. Looks like Mateo the quickest one right now. Vasquez trying to reel him in as well. Last few lap times there. Mateo and Vasquez, the last couple laps are closing in on La Fuente, so it's about a 1/10 of a second each lap, trying to reel him in. Incidences here. Let's review kind of what happened here. So Scott Reister having an accident on lap 1. Oh, that's during the gridding formation. We'll skip that. Quiet action right now. Everybody just settling in. We'll have to see what it looks like. Again, this is our closest battle right now. It looks like Scott Reister really starting to close in on Lucas Souza as well. Go back to that battle for 10th. Final paying position here, Reister in the Beamer. Try to get in on Lucas. Again with La Fuente. These two guys have been separated by about a half second here since the pit stop. guys. Fuente is slowing the pace just a bit. Vasquez really starting to close that gap on these guys. He's closed in a good half second over the last 5 laps. Wave pit stops could be coming about another 8 minutes or so, 9 minutes, 10 minutes. First wave came in at about the 27, 28 minute mark. See the top 3 winding down that back straightaway now. Here. La Fuente coming in for a stop. He's got Mateo right with him as well. But he jumps up on the block, so I'm guessing they went with 2 tires because they really pit quick with a 13-second stop, where everybody else must have went with 4 tires, and that's why they went to a full 25-second stop or so. Scott Reister starting to close back in on Lucas Souza. Just as I say that, the good old commentator's curse, he drops back again. Been about a half second of him right now. Looks like your leader's coming in for a stop, so they did short pit quite a bit. I don't know if they are working together or not, but they definitely short pit. See what these guys can do, see how long it takes them. So now you've got Aaron Vasquez back out in front. Rubelar in the second spot now, about 9 seconds back. Sven Haas in the 3rd spot. So both Mateo and La Fuente with about a 23-second pit stop. So just like everybody else, went full fuel on that one. Should push them to the end. So basically they planned it out. They did their splash on their first stop. They're looking to make it the rest of the way out, so we'll have to see if that plan works for them. Mateo and La Fuente running nose to tail again, sitting in that 8th and 9th spot. Woods getting by Ricardo Delgado. Just trying to work his way back up. Coming up that uphill section into turn 3. Ricardo just slides over, lets him by, so Lewis Woods up his way back up into the 12th spot. Battle right now. This is for 8th and 9th. These guys were the guys that were out in front at our first race at Road Atlanta. It was Mateo coming home in 3rd at Road Atlanta. Daniel Lafuente finishing in the 2nd spot. These guys are sitting 8th and 9th right now. They just completed their 2nd pit stop, so they went It'll be interesting to see if they can make it the rest of the way. We shall see. Back out in front again. Aaron Vasco has definitely been the pace setter right now. Aaron was quickest in practice, quickest in qualifying. And has definitely been showing his way right now. Last 5 laps, 29.4, 29.5, 29.4, 29.3, 29.4. Comes across the stripe again. 29.4 again. Again, this is North American Racing League. A little bit of info about us. This is our 2nd cash race, racing here in the beautiful virtual Austria at the Red Bull Ring. If you're interested in North American Racing League, we do GT3 racing Thursday nights. We're currently in season 7. Big action going on Thursday nights. We've got next season starting to plan out right now. Get on the waiting lists. You can join us. But as for our Sunday racing, this is an open lobby that we do every Sunday except for some of the holidays. So next Sunday, we will be back at it again. Our next race will be coming up from Watkins Glen. So we look forward to seeing anybody that would like to join us. Watkins Glen will be the same bat time, same bat channel. We'll be on YouTube again. Qualifying starts at about 11 a.m. Pacific time, so 2 p.m. Eastern. Hope to have anybody out. Once again, it is an open lobby. Anybody can join. Top 3 will be qualified to take home $100 cash for the race. Top 15 will get, top 10 get $15 in iRacing credits. So it's a little bit of a pay for these guys, something to incentivize them to race. Our first race, we did have a pretty big field. If I remember correctly, it was about 35 or so cars. So it's a little on the lower side. I've seen some of the guys that were in our first race that did not qualify, so they joined the session and departed us. So I'm not quite sure, but again, this is an open lobby, so if you are sitting around on a Sunday afternoon, want to get some racing action in, come join us on our Sunday fun day racing. The finale, we're looking, top 3 guys will automatically qualify for the finale, so everybody that finishes in the top 3 each week will qualify for the finale. If by chance one of them has already qualified, the next person in line will actually take their spot. So in the case right now, if we finish the race right now, you got Aaron Vasquez out in front. Nicholas Rubelar, who was our winner last week, he would not take a spot. So then Sven would take the second spot, and David Bosga would currently take the third spot. Our cash finale will be September 21st. Over $5,200 in payout. So we're looking to get some serious action going on with these guys. As you see Jackson Resende in the pits right now. So our second wave of pit stops for those full-fueled guys is coming in now. We'll have to see what our leader Aaron Vasquez does this time by. Open up to a 9.5 second advantage. Sven Ole Haas sitting in that third spot right now. Aaron getting by down the front straightaway. Keeping the race going. Again, it looks like from the intervals you see on track there, everybody kind of settled out quite a bit. Jackson Resende starting to close in on Ricardo after his pit stop. Jackson just coming in for his second stop. Some more cars jumping in the pits right now. Sven went off track. Let's see what happened to Sven Ole Haas. And just went straight forward down the front straightaway. Wow, not quite sure what happened with that. Sven had a great run going. Qualified 15th, had a rough qualifying position. Worked his way up into the top, up into like 5th. Had a great run going. Must have had technical issue. Not quite sure what was going on. So tough break for Sven. Had a great run going. Looks like Jackson was able to get by Ricardo while we were looking at that. Ricardo slides over and lets Jackson go by. Go back live with our leader now. Vasquez. Turn 3 here. Coming up on Lucas Finco to put him a lap down. Ricardo Delgado crash, not quite sure here. Let's see what happened. Jackson just got back by him, coming up into turn 3 here. It's hard under braking. Ooh, missed his braking spot just a bit. No crash, he was able to keep it going. But, missed his braking zone just a bit. Aaron Vasquez able to get by Lucas Finco to put him a lap down. Mateo and La Fuente getting closer again. These two guys, pretty much the whole race at Road Atlanta and this whole race here, they have been separated by no more than a second and a half or so in these 2 weeks that we've been racing. close in on that 1 hour marker. This is where we're going to start seeing our top cars starting to come in for, should be their final pit stop. Goes by for another lap. Right now you got Vasquez on 20 laps, so that's what he did the first time by. See Mateo and Lafuente with 12 laps in their midsection, so they definitely short fueled. They fueled for what could be that extra little splash and go that these guys are going to need here. So it's going to be interesting to see. This should be the lap where Aaron is going to come in, you would think. Looks like Scott Reister jumping into the pits now. Stay on here with Aaron Vasquez. He's gonna possibly dive in. Let's see. Nope, gonna stretch it out another lap. Stretching out this fuel mileage. Scott Reister coming out of the pits just in front of him. David Bosgood entering pit lane here. In and out. Let's see if he just out of the pits there. Aaron Vasquez has definitely been class of the field today. Starting on the pole, Nicholas Rubelar was on his outside. And here comes your leader in for what should be his final pit stop. Definitely milked that last stop out quite a bit. Now it's going to be interesting to see where he comes out in relationship to Mateo and Lafuente. In for a stop as well. Lucas Finco in for a stop. We got Mateo and Lafuente just coming into the last sector now. Coming into that last area. Vasquez exiting the pits. And looks like he is able to hang on to it. Mateo and Lafuente just exiting turn 1 now. And they are joined by their good friend Nicholas Rubelar, rejoining that three-way fight. Now we've got Paulo Gaudet being shown out in front. Paulo stretched out his first stop as well. leader right now is Aaron Vasquez. Apollo jumping into the pits now, so that should shuffle everybody back. Everybody on their second pit stop. Here's our closest battle right now for second, third, and fourth. Mateo, Lafuente, and Rubelar. These three have already qualified for our series finale, September 21st, as they finished first, second, and third at Road Atlanta. So if the race ended right now, top three not qualified cars will qualify for the finale. So Aaron Vasquez is out in front. He would take the win, and he would advance into our finale. David Bozga and Paulo Gadai right now would be your transfers into that finale as well, being that these three right here have already qualified for that finale. About 14 minutes still left to go for these guys. Again, this is our North American Racing League. If you'd like to join us, find out more about us, NorthAmericanRacingLeague.com. There you can get links to see what races we've had, classes we've run, also a link to our Discord. Mateo possibly disconnecting. We were watching Nicholas there and something happened to him. That's the second car that we've seen have an issue just kind of randomly. Sven Olehas also having a problem. That was quite strange. Let's see. Go on board with Nicholas as he comes up into turn 3 here. Looks like everything is normal. Into that braking zone. Just in the apex and just disconnected. Wow, that's a tough break for him. Was in a cash paying position. Again, top 3 every Sunday, get $100 cash. And your top 10 get $15 in iRacing credit every Sunday. Three-way battle here for second and third and fourth turned into a two-way battle now, as we got Lafuente and Rubelar retaining their fight. Gonna run through the field here, get a glance of everybody as we're closing in on 10 minutes to go. Got Aaron Vasquez out in front. Again, been the class of the field today, showing the way. Then you got about 11.5 second advantage back to Daniel Lafuente in second, with his good friend Nicholas Rubelar just 0.3 of a second behind in third. And you got about 12 seconds back to David Bosga. In the 5th spot right now, we've got one of our regulars, Paulo Gadai. And then as we move back, we've got about 10 seconds back to Chris Beats in the 6th spot. 7th spot right behind him, Jackson Resende, about 2 seconds back, trying to close in on him. Lewis Woods sitting in the 8th spot now. Lewis had a real rough race. I'm not quite sure what caused him to lose so many spots off the top. I was trying to find the incidents and I just couldn't quite find it. I don't know if it was a pit stop issue or what, but trying to do a recovery drive for Lewis in the 8th spot. Then in the 9th spot, we got Lucas Souza. About 6 seconds behind Lewis. Kind of no man's land right there. He's got a 6-second gap back from up ahead to Lewis and about 5 seconds back to Mr. Scott Reister. Scott Reister rounding out that top 10 right now with the payouts. He's the one that does the payouts. $15 in iRacing credit to the top 10 finishers in each Sunday. Then we'll go back to the 11th spot. Ricardo Delgado, just about 7 seconds behind Reister, trying to crest into that top 10. We got a little bit of a gap back to my buddy Will Coffey. And the final car on the track right now is Lucas Finco in the 13th spot. So again, a little bit lighter turnout for this week's race. Had a heavier turnout for that first one. But all good. We had some still good action. Looks like we've got a pass for P2. This Rular coming up into turn 3. Gets on that inside line. La Fuente just checks in and rides right behind him. As we go back up with these guys. We've got about 7.5 minutes left to go. And this is our closest battle right now. Everybody else pretty spread out. These are the 2 closest guys on the track. Finco coming in for what should be his final stop. He's able to really stretch his fuel mileage out pretty good. Pretty quiet racing today. Lower turnout than we expected. But we do race every Sunday. With the exception of some upcoming holidays. Including Mother's Day, we will take that Sunday off. 6 minutes left on the clock. Vasquez out in front, been able to really just get out there and hide. And he's been able to stretch just about 3 to 4 tenths every lap on Nicholas Rular. Just open up that gap to about 13 seconds now. on 5 minutes left to go for these guys. Get our stint links on these guys. As you can see, we had La Fuente with that early run, only did a 12 lap run in that middle section. That first pit stop really jostled the field up, changed the order up a little bit. But his draft partner, Nicholas Mateo, having a disconnect or something. Not quite sure what happened to him. Battle for that second and third spot right now with Rublar and La Fuente. Everybody else separated by a couple seconds here and there. Let's see what these guys can do. If they're gonna push each other or not here at the end. Top 3 each Sunday, qualified to race in our finale in September. And then if you have already qualified in one of the races, we'll move to the next spot back. So Rubilar and La Fuente advanced in our first week. So that's going to make 2 spots available to advance to the finale. And as if we ended right now, you've got David Bosca and Paulo Gadai making it to the finale. Still got about 2.5 minutes left to go for these guys. Nicholas and Daniel getting by Will Coffey, putting the lap down. Last sector here. Close if this is going to be the last lap or not. And it looks like this is our white flag. This possibly could be our white flag. Yep, that is correct. We are on our white flag lap right now. Vasquez wearing that virtual coach livery. Apex Racing Team. Following around for this last lap. Didn't get a whole lot of action with him. He's been out front most of the day. Said before, this has definitely been the class of the field. Coming around into the last sector right now. downhill and across the line one final time. Aaron Vasquez coming down the front straightaway will take the win in round number 2 here of the Cash Sunday races with North American Racing League. Got a battle for that second spot. Rubilar and La Fuente still running nose to tail. And it looks like these guys are going to stay in their positions. Rubilar and La Fuente finishing second and third. Then you had David Vazca coming home in fourth. He will advance into the finale. Here comes your 5th place car of Paulo Gaday, also advancing into the finale. Here comes Chris Beats around the last sector as well. And across the line, right behind him is Jackson Resende. Jackson will come home in 7th. Lucas Finco will come home in 13th. Let's see what we're doing here. It's like just about everybody is on down. Lewis Woods with the recovery drive comes and brings it home in the 8th spot. 9th spot, we've got Lucas Souza. Apex in that final turn and down the front straightaway. Scott Reister will round out our top 10. Top 10 cars paying out $15 iRacing credit. Ricardo Delgado will bring it home in 11th, just outside that finishing position, that paying position. Great run from Ricardo, though. Good to see him running up there. Your results from the race today. We've got Aaron Vasquez taking home the win. That is qualifying, excuse me. Let's recheck that. Here we go. Racing results. Aaron Vasquez taking the win. Finishing in that 2nd spot, Nicholas Rubilar. Daniel Lafuente coming home in 3rd. The top 3 taking home $100 in cash from North American Racing League. In the 4th spot, David Vazca. Paulo Gaday in 5th. 6th spot went to Chris Beats. 7th spot went to Jackson Resende. Lewis Woods bringing it home in the 8th spot. Lucas Souza in 9th. Rounding out your top 10, Scott Reister. Top 10 cars do receive $15 in iRacing credits. Then in 11th spot, you had Ricardo Delgado. Will Coffey brings it home in 12th. Lucas Finco, last running car on the track, in 13th. Then you had Nicholas Mateo with a really interesting disconnect. Not quite sure what happened to him. We'll have to find out during the week and report back. Same with Sven Ole Haas, one guy that had a really rough qualifying, was working his way up through the field and had a very interesting disconnect on the front straightaway, going straight into that outside wall. So tough break from him. Julian Famlarius in the 16th spot. Mason Kuhn in 17th. And then a few guys that joined the session but did not run. We'll have to hopefully get some better turnout for our next race. Again, our next race coming up is going to be at Watkins Glen next Sunday. I myself will not be here. I will have my substitute teacher, Fen, in the booth. So it should hopefully lead to some great racing action. Once again, this was North American Racing League Sunday Racing Cash Race number 2. Number 3 will be up next week at Watkins Glen. I am Mike Braun in the commentary and in the production booth. And until next time, we'll see you next